We undertake the process of preparing the budget for the financial year 2024-2025, we're deeply humbled by the profound trust bestowed upon us by the people of Uganda. Their confidence in our abilities as their elected representatives is not just a privilege, but also a solemn responsibility. We understand the weight of this trust that has been bestowed upon us by the people of Uganda, and it ought to serve as the guiding force propelling us forward in our unwavering commitment to ensure efficient service delivery by the government to the citizenry, accountability, and our steadfast stance against corruption and misuse of taxpayers' money. Honorable colleagues and esteemed guests, corruption remains a pervasive and insidious problem that undermines the fabric of our society. It erodes public trust in government institutions. It diverts resources away from essential services and perpetuates inequality and injustice. As leaders, it is our duty to confront corruption head-on and ensure that public resources are used for the benefit of all, not for the enrichment of a few. Ladies and gentlemen, on an annual basis, we lose over 10 trillion shillings to corruption, according to figures from the Inspectorate of Government. Think about how many hospitals this money could build and equip, roads, schools, or other critical service delivery areas. There's no way this country's resource envelope will benefit the citizenry for as long as a huge portion of this money is lost to thieves at different levels in government. It is no wonder that government is proposing to increase taxes on certain commodities and services, which are going to further burden the population that is already not seeing adequate service delivery for the tax money that they pay currently. We need to save this money that is stolen by the thieves. That way we don't have to dig deeper into the pockets of the struggling citizenry. As we speak, ladies and gentlemen, traders downtown are demonstrating against high taxes. Their businesses are crumbling. They borrow money to start businesses, and they struggle every step of the way. And government is tightening the noose around them. We need to listen and respond to the cries of the citizens of Uganda. And want to join the traders and all other Ugandans that are saying it's not right for us to put a chokehold on the citizenry, and yet they struggle to see service delivery at the end of the day. And yet they see this money that they give in taxes being stolen. And that's why the traders are saying no. And we want to encourage them as citizens of this country to speak out. And so we do support their peaceful demonstration to say, this is wrong, enough is enough. Ladies and gentlemen, in line with our mandate of keeping the government in check, we pledge to relentlessly expose this corruption in whichever government entity it exists, and regardless of who is involved in this corruption. The opposition has chosen an approach to resource allocation that places human rights at its very core. We believe that access to basic necessities such as clean water, healthcare, education, housing, shelter, and social protection is not a luxury, but an inalienable right bestowed upon every citizen of Uganda. By prioritizing the allocation of resources towards these fundamental needs, we not only empower communities to withstand the trials they face, but also reaffirm our dedication to upholding the dignity of each and every Ugandan citizen. A review of the government's budgeting process has consistently uncovered apparent misappropriation and misallocation of resources, notably through program-based budgeting. This has reaffirmed our determination to prepare the opposition budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025. This budget is more than simply a financial plan. It illustrates our commitment to strengthening communities through effective service delivery. As the opposition, we don't simply oppose. We offer alternatives. And that's what we are doing today. That's what we are here for today. Even though these are alternatives are ignored most times. But at least we get to paint a picture to Ugandans of what ought to be done. We are telling Ugandans, if we were the ones in power currently, this is what we would do. This is how we would allocate the resource envelope. And that's important because they want to see leadership. They want to see people that have a vision for the country. That's what we are doing today. I'm sure you hear many times people who will say, those opposition people, they simply oppose. No, it's not just opposing for the sake of it. We are showing Ugandans this is the direction we ought to take. And we'll keep doing that so that we show them that we are a serious government in waiting. Honorable colleagues and esteemed guests, the human rights-based approach that we have adopted forms the foundation of our alternative budget, demonstrating our consistent commitment to defending the basic freedoms and rights of every Ugandan citizen. We hope that by adopting this approach, the budgeting process will become an effective instrument for social justice and equitable development. Therefore, in order to ensure that no one is left behind, it is imperative that government allocates resources in a manner that promotes accountability and transparency. That's something that we are pushing for and will keep pushing and will not stop. There are voices that might try to silence us, but it's our duty to make sure that government is accountable, to make sure that every penny of tax money that is paid by Ugandan citizens is put to proper use. Honorable colleagues, at the heart of our responsibilities as elected representatives lies a profound duty to hold the government accountable and ensure that the allocation and utilization of resources are in alignment with the genuine needs and aspirations of the citizenry. We've got to prioritize. Sometimes it looks like government has got its priorities the wrong side up in the way they allocate resources. We want to show them the priority areas that we need to focus on, that healthcare is important, that education is important. If we want to secure the future of Ugandans, we must begin with the young people today who are in school. Just look at the pennies that are allocated to UPE. And you will see how there is no prioritization. How do you secure the future of young people who are studying under trees, who have one teacher teaching all subjects in a class? Young people who are writing on the floor. And we think we are securing their future. No, we are not. We are robbing their future. How do you tell young mothers who are giving birth on the floor in hospitals across the country, including here in the city center? See the congestion in hospitals. People go to hospital and there's no doctor to attend to them. Where a doctor is present, they don't have equipment to use. And you tell those people, those young mothers, that you're securing their future. No, you're not. We are robbing their future. And we must talk about these issues. We must bring them to the fore as the opposition and say these must be taken care of. Government prides itself in focusing on infrastructure. Is that true? I don't think so. Of recent, you saw the outcry about the situation of roads here in Kampala, the heart of the country, the face of the country, which generates over 60% of our country's budget. And it is in such a shambolic state. It's not okay. And so we must speak out, we must give direction, and we must rally the people of Uganda to join this cause. This cause, ladies and gentlemen, is not just for us, the elected leaders. Of course, we must lead. And that's why the people of Uganda entrusted you and I to lead them, to speak for them, to be their voice. And as we do that, we should rally them to say, please join us in this cause. And I want to appreciate the people of Uganda because they are waking up and smelling the coffee. As I've told you, traders are demonstrating as we speak because they are saying, no, we must speak out. So that's important. As we speak all the English we can on the floor of Parliament, and we shall speak that English, we must rally the people of Uganda to say, all of us should be able to speak out. Because no one is safe in a sinking boat. So it is our duty, all of us, as the people of Uganda, to see that we bring to an end this entire mess that we grapple with as a country. This duty goes beyond mere oversight. It is a sincere commitment to upholding the principles of good governance and ensuring that every Ugandan benefits equitably from the wealth of our nation. Our duty to keep the government in check is not simply a matter of political rivalry. It is a fundamental aspect of our democratic system, ladies and gentlemen. It is through oversight and scrutiny that we ensure that power is exercised responsibly and that the voices of the marginalized people are heard and represented. As we engage in this process of budgetary deliberations, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to upholding the principles of good governance. Let us ensure that every shilling of public funds is utilized effectively and efficiently to address the pressing needs of our nation. And let us never forget that our duty is not just to our constituents, but to the collective well-being of all Ugandans. And that's why we are national leaders. The people of Nakawa West sent me to Parliament, but I don't represent just the people of Nakawa West. The laws that we pass, the issues we deliberate on affect everybody, and it's important that we view ourselves that way so that the people of Uganda see themselves in us, they hear their voice in our voices. Ladies and gentlemen, as we present our alternative budget to the nation, we reaffirm our commitment to fulfilling our oversight function on budget performance. We shall continue to hold the government accountable and ensure transparency in the allocation and utilization of resources, all in service of the people of Uganda. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the members of the Shadow Cabinet and the dedicated staff of the Office of the Leader of the Opposition for their tireless efforts in drafting this alternative budget. There are challenges, and we'll continue to grapple with challenges. The staff has shrinked, we have fewer people, but they're dedicated, and we'll keep moving because we have got work to do. The people of Uganda don't expect excuses from us. They expect us to deliver on our mandate. The expertise of this team, the Shadow Cabinet, and the staff that we do have and their commitment have been indispensable in shaping our vision for a more just and resilient Uganda. I would like to appreciate you all for making the time to be here today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for God and my country.